Welcome to Bible Study for Beginners. Before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest videos. Today, we're exploring Embracing Community, Lessons from Acts. In the book of Acts, we witness the early church's development, which thrived on community. Acts 2:42 tells us, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. This passage highlights the foundational elements that fostered a strong community among believers: teaching, fellowship, communion, and prayer. These elements are not just historical references. They provide a blueprint for us today. When you openly engage in fellowship, you are not only participating in a church event, but also nurturing relationships that reflect Christ's love. In Acts 4:32, we learn, all the believers were one in heart and mind. This verse underscores the unity that should define our community relationships. Community serves as a support system, a place where we can share our burdens and joys. In Galatians 6:2, Paul encourages, carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. By embracing community, we can uplift one another, ensuring no one feels isolated during difficult times. Moreover, practicing community involves sharing resources. Acts 2:44-45 reveals, all the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. This radical generosity is a powerful testimony to the strength of community and reflects Christ's compassion through actionable love. We can apply these principles in our daily lives. Start small, join a Bible study group, volunteer in church activities, or simply reach out to someone who may need support. Remember, the strength of our faith is often bolstered through our interactions and relationships with others. Let's unlock the power of community and allow it to transform our spiritual lives. As we dive deeper into the book of Acts, we see a clear model of community in action among the early believers. In Acts 2:42-47, we read about how the apostles devoted themselves to teaching, fellowship, breaking of bread, and prayers. This scripture illustrates the importance of unity and shared purpose in the Christian community. Together, they worshiped, served, and met each other's needs, fostering an environment where faith could flourish. Notice how they broke bread together. This act was not only about sharing meals, but also about creating connections and nurturing relationships. It reminds us that community isn't merely about being in the same place. It's about engaging in life together, supporting one another, and being there in both good times and bad. In practical terms, consider joining a Bible study group or a church community where conversations about faith are encouraged. This can be a tremendous source of accountability and motivation. For instance, when facing life's challenges, job losses, illness, or family struggle, having a community to uplift you with prayer and support can be incredibly comforting. Moreover, Acts 4:32-35 provides a further illustration of communal living where believers shared everything in a manner that no one was in need. This radical generosity is a tangible expression of faith in action. It challenges us to reflect on how we can be a blessing to those in need around us. This doesn't always mean financial contributions. It can be offering your time, helping someone with chores, or simply being a listening ear. When we emulate this kind of community, we not only strengthen our own faith, but also extend God's love to others. Being part of a church community is more than just attendance. It's about contributing to the vitality and growth of that community, actively participating in each other's lives, and making our faith a collective journey. As we conclude our exploration of embracing community, lessons from Acts, let's reflect on the profound power of connection within a faith community. In Acts 2:44-47, we see a beautiful example. All the believers were together and had everything in common. This passage illustrates a key principle: sharing, not just materially, but sharing lives, burdens, and spiritual journeys. When we actively engage in our communities, we nurture an environment that fosters belonging and spiritual growth. For instance, consider the practice of communal prayer. In Acts 4:24, believers raised their voices together in prayer, uniting their hearts in a shared desire for courage and steadfastness. This collective prayer not only strengthened their faith, but also deepened relationships among them. Are you actively participating in communal prayer, perhaps in a small group or church service? Moreover, Hebrews 10:24-25 reminds us, and let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together. Regularly gathering with fellow believers cultivates encouragement and accountability. It's important to seek out opportunities to engage with others. Join a Bible study group or volunteer for church activities. These are practical ways to deepen connections and embody the teachings found in the book of Acts. Lastly, let's not forget that embracing community also means welcoming others. Acts chapter 10 recounts Cornelius and Peter's story, showing us how breaking cultural barriers opens doors for the gospel. When you extend a hand to someone different from you, whether in culture, background, or belief, you reflect the heart of Christ's love, inviting them into the community. So, as we step away from today's discussion, remember the vital role of community in your faith journey. Engage, share, and embrace those around you. Together, through our mutual support and love, we can embody the gospel message and strengthen each other's faith. May we move forward, determined to foster an inviting and inclusive environment, just as the early church did,